I just thought I would do a really quick, probably won't be very quick, update on what's been going on recently. So the last time I did an update, I was due to be meeting the surgeon on the Wednesday, and so the Monday I was having a telephone consultation with the dietitian. So that was a little while ago now, a couple of weeks ago, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, that I actually it was the week of meeting everybody. So basically, yeah, I was really nervous for the dietitian appointment. I think it was was worse that it was on the phone rather than meeting somebody. I hadn't been that nervous about meeting anybody else before, so I think it was just sitting there waiting for the call. I found that really nerve-wracking. So it was about half an hour, so I took myself off to the car, and really the questions was pretty much the same things than what I've been answering before. So how do you feel when you eat? Do you eat at night? What's your portion sizes like? Do you sit at the table? Do you watch TV while you eat? Same questions than what, if you're like me, you've gone through tier 3, that you would have had several times in tier 3. I remember at the end of it I was feeling quite frustrated, being asked the same questions over and over again, because it was like, well, I can't really tell you anything else. So anyway, so that went well. She asked a few questions like, what's your goal? So I wasn't expecting that one. And I said I didn't really have a weight in mind. I don't have a weight goal yet. I have more of a size. So my goal for size would be about a size 12. She asked me where that's come from. And I just said friends that I have that are size 12. I think that's a nice looking size. I think, my strap keeps falling. Yeah, so that's a nice looking size, so I wouldn't mind being a size 12. And she also asked me how I felt about she asked me about whether or not sagging skin, am I aware of sagging skin, how do I feel about the sagging skin? And I mean, I said I know I'm going to get it. I said there's not a lot I can do about it. I said I'm not doing this to look good in a bikini. I'm doing this to start a family, hopefully, or if all else fails, be able to get IVF or different fertility treatments, and I'll have more success with them, having a lower BMI, and also just for myself to be healthier. So yeah, she asked why I'm doing it. Yeah, so pretty much that was it. I mean, when I had my dietitian appointment before, I asked her the process of what happens now, and so she explained to me that there's going to be a form that the surgeon submits, and the dietitian, the counsellor and the surgeon and the nurse all have to sign it off before I go on the waiting list. So because I knew that, when she asked me what questions, did I have any questions, I did ask her quite a forward questions. Are you going to sign the form? Do you think I'm ready? Have you got any issues? And she said no. She said no issues whatsoever. She'll happily sign the form. So fantastic. I was really pleased with that. She did say about 2 workshops that she was going to book me in for, which I felt like I was told I didn't need to do. So she's booked me in for them. The only problem is that they're at 9:30 in the morning, and obviously I live 2 hours away from the hospital, so it's going to be a bit difficult. So I said, yeah, book me in, but let me double check with Nuala, because I'm sure, because I've already done so much on tier 3, that I didn't really have to do this. So I wanted to just double check that. But she did book me in for them too. I think that's the 2nd. It's this Thursday, and at the end of June. I'm not very good with dates. So this is going to be fun. So yeah, she's booked me in for them too. I was a little bit disheartened, and I said to her, well, does this mean I have to do these workshops before I get added onto the list, as I was hoping to be added at the end of this week once I meet the surgeon. And she said no, she said you can still be added onto the list, I will still sign the form even without you going to these workshops. But she did feel that they was going to be really helpful, so that was fine. So I waited sort of 2 weeks, waited to sort of hear, sorry, I'm skipping. So Wednesday I met the surgeon, and I don't know if you remember, I was also seeing Les Mis. So yeah, that was really good. I went to see the surgeon, we got there on time, we took the bus and the tubes and the train this time, a lot better than trying to drive to Chelsea and Westminster Hospital. So I got there pretty much with 15 minutes to spare. The minute I sat down, I was called through to get weighed. And it worked out that I've lost about 8 pounds since I first started. So my highest weight was about 21 stone 10. So they're sort of saying I was sort of 21.2, which on my scales I wasn't. So I'm not going to take too much from that. But they was happy, so I was happy. I had been going to the gym and working hard sort of up until that point, so that was really good that I'd lost a bit more according to their scales, but not to mine. So Mr. Bonanimi called me through earlier to my appointment, and his phone kept ringing while I was in there. It rang sort of twice, and he answered it, which he was like, I'm really sorry, this is a patient. So I think that was a good thing. It means he's sort of contactable. If anything was to go wrong, he's not sort of like, no, I'm in appointments, I can't answer. But it did sort of distract from the appointment a little bit. But no, I mean, he just sort of wanted to sort of just check with me exactly what the operation was, what I wanted, what I'm looking to expect from it. He did sort of say that he wanted to have my permission if he can't do gastric bypass surgery, whether or not I would be happy with a sleeve. And I said yes. I said I'd rather a sleeve than nothing. He said it's very unlikely that he would need to do that. That's more for people who's had a lot of surgery in that area, so it's quite scarred, so they can't sort of, it's scarred tissue, so they can't sort of quite move the bowel or the intestines up to the new stomach, something like that. But it's very unlikely. In my case, I've only ever had a laparoscopy for my PCOS. So he said no problems should there be there, and I'm actually quite low risk because of my age and no other health problems. So really it was just a chance for me to ask him questions, which I didn't have. I didn't have any questions. I asked him how long he'd been doing the surgery for, and he said since 2002, I think he said. So that was fine. My parents were sort of a bit annoyed that I didn't ask about his mortality rate. I didn't feel comfortable asking that, and they was quite annoyed that I didn't ask that, but I didn't feel comfortable, so I didn't ask him that. I'm confident with him. He was a lovely man. I've read up about him online, and I just felt very comfortable with him, so I've not got an issue there at all. So yes, that went really well. So after that, I had to do some swabs. I did a swab up my nose and a swab sort of on my sort of leg crease, and then I had to take a form to pre-op which said that was it, I was free to go. And I also had to hand in a form to put me on the waiting list, I thought. So I handed that into reception, so that was all fine. So 2 weeks came and went, and I emailed Nuala and said I've met with the dietitian, met with the counsellor now, and with the surgeon. All went really well, all really happy for me to go on the list, so can you just let me know officially when I'm added, and approximately how long the waiting list is. She came back to me about a week later saying she's waiting to hear from the psych team. So I was sort of like, oh, okay, well what can there be to say other than to sign the form? Another week passed, still nothing, so I was starting to get a little bit agitated at this point. Probably, I'm really impatient. You are when you've waited this long for something and you get told one thing. So I called this time. I've never called them, so I was really nervous to call them, but Nuala was in she was in meeting, so I left a message and I got a call back from another lady, and I so wish I hadn't answered the phone, because after that conversation I just felt like crying. She basically said that she's the one that deals with the appointments. I'm not on the list. Psych team have not signed me off. I haven't done the workshops, and it was a complete error as to why I met the surgeon already. Because she was saying that I've not even met the consultant yet. And I said, well, no, I have. And she said, well, that was an error. You wasn't meant to meet him yet. Sorry, my phone has a habit of dying. So yeah, she said basically, sorry to get your hopes up. You wasn't meant to meet the surgeon yet. You're not that far along. Oh, and I sort of tried to explain to her that no, Nuala has brought this all forward. I've done tier 3 already. And I know everybody's done tier 3, but my tier 3 was really involved. And with my mum having surgery, she sort of made it sound like I was going to get through this process fairly quickly. So to have been told that, it was a bit of a shock. And I said, well, I need to really speak to Nuala to talk about this, because this certainly wasn't what I had in mind. I was expecting to be added onto the list any day now. So yeah, she said, well, let me take it away. So that's how it was left. So that night I barely slept. And I think leading up to this waiting the 2 weeks and then hearing that, it sort of got me a little bit run down. So I've been a little bit unwell, to be honest with you. And I haven't been sleeping very well. So hence why I look like rubbish. I've just finished a really busy day at work today as well, after the bank holiday weekend. So I was feeling pretty run down. So the next day, I had a phone call at about 10 to 6 in the evening, and I actually thought it was one of them prank call people who just want to try selling you things, so I answered it really aggressively. And they said it was actually Chelsea. It was the lady I spoke to yesterday, and she apologised. She said that she's spoken to Nuala. She was very sorry, but yeah, I have been added to the waiting list. I don't need to attend the workshops as advised, but they do say they can be really helpful. So I said, okay, that's fine, I will attend. It was just more the fact that I had to attend, and I wouldn't be added onto the list yet. That was more sort of what I was getting at. So she said, yeah, she's spoken to Nuala. She was sort of referring to the normal process. However, because Nuala's agreed all this and she's happy for what I've already done so far, that's fine. And she got the sign off from the councillor. So fantastic. I was really, really, really happy. I did ask her what the wait time was for Mr. Bonanimi, and surprise, surprise, she did not know. So I was like, oh, so we're one step further, but we still do not know when. This is what I've been waiting for, as I'm sure everybody's been waiting for that big moment when they get their surgery date, or they sort of know what month it's going to be. So she said I need to check with admissions. So the next day I emailed admissions, and oh, sorry, my cat's just jumped up. Oh, so cute. Yeah, so I emailed admissions and I said, sort of, I've been accepted for gastric bypass surgery. I understand that I am going on to the waiting list. Do you have any idea how long that waiting list is? I wasn't expecting to get anything back so quickly, but within a couple of hours I had confirmation saying that it's been passed to the relevant department. So that was really good. And then within the next hour I actually had a phone call from a lovely lady called Alison in the admissions department, and she said that she's got my form there. Yes, I was being added onto the list. She said everything's been signed off, so that was fantastic. She did say that she doesn't know exactly when exactly whereabouts in the list I'm going to go. So I was a bit confused with that. I was a bit confused because I thought you just get added to the bottom. But she said that you can go in at different levels of the waiting list. So that was quite good actually, because I know Nuala was quite keen to get me through this. She's very confident that I'm pretty ready for it now. So I think I'm hopefully going to go in quite high. I'll have to just wait and see. Obviously there's a lot of other people who's waiting for this surgery, and I understand that there will be people that has waited longer than me, so I have just tried to be as patient as I can. But she said that at the moment Mr. Bonanimi's booking for end of July, August time. Wasn't expecting that. I thought she was going to say sort of November. and she said he has got some annual leave coming up, but she said that to call her back in 2 weeks' time and she'll know exactly where I am on the list and will be able to give me either a date or a better idea, I don't know, but she said she's the one that gives the dates out for surgery, so I've got her number, so I will call her back in 2 weeks. So that's really where I am at the moment. This Thursday, as I say, I'm going to one of the first workshops, so I'm going to try get into that. So I'll sort of do a joint update with that workshop and that call with Alison. As I say, I'm trying not to get my hopes up on if it's a surgery date, but even if I sort of just know a month, just so I can sort of start preparing. And I will also explain to them that I need to get a hotel booked because I live so far away. My partner's going to come and stay with me, so we need to get a hotel booked. So I've been looking at hotels in my excitement. Who knew Chelsea and Westminster was so expensive? So I've been trying to find sort of Premier Inns, travel lodges, and I've found it both actually. It's about £350 for a Premier Inn for 3 nights. But yeah, I mean, I'd rather him be up there with me. I'm sure he would rather be up there with me than to come back home every day. So yeah, I'm hoping to sort of get a bit more moving with the date soon, but I think that's quite long enough. Sorry, that was really long. But yeah, thank you again for all of my lovely new subscribers, and yeah, do subscribe if you feel that these videos are going to be of any help. I know it's probably going to get a bit more interesting once I've had surgery, but certainly for anybody on the NHS route, it might be helpful to follow somebody's sort of journey through all these appointments and hoops that you have to jump through, because there are many. So yes, I shall update you again shortly once I've had this workshop. So yeah, well, take care. And again, if anybody's got a channel that they're on, that they're doing videos, or you're going through this journey and you know you're doing the same, then please, if I haven't already, I've subscribed to quite a few recently, do leave your name below, and I will love to subscribe to you and follow your journey. It would be lovely to. I'm hoping that once I get a surgery date, there'll be somebody on here that's going to have surgery about the same time, so maybe we could go through it together. So yeah, well, thanks again for watching and take care. Thanks, bye.